Hey guys, welcome back. This is episode 8 of my Out of the Park Baseball 21 series with the DuPage Pistol Shrimp. And as you can see, it has been a phenomenal start to the season for us. July 1st, we currently sit 40 and 20 and in first place in the American League Central. So let's take a look and see how we got there, and then we will get to the draft. So if we start with lineups and depth charts, you can see a couple of players just having outstanding beginnings of the seasons. Gian Q, 2.4 WAR already. He just continues to get it done. I question, I question the value, I guess, but he continues to prove me wrong. Alex Verdugo, extremely hot start to the season, 925 OPS. It's 47 RBIs in 56 games. Rookie Darian Perez was named the American League Rookie of the Month in May. 309, 411, 497, 908 OPS, 2.0 WAR. Already 15 doubles, 7 home runs, and almost an even walk to strikeout ratio. So really good start out of the center fielder. Noel V. Marte, hitting better than expected, almost an 800 OPS, and very, very good defense at short. Khalil Lee continues to get it done. The average is a little bit light, but still OPSing 813. Lewin Diaz, the on-base percentage is down a little bit compared to last year, but slugging is up, OPS is up, already has 17 home runs. Bo Naylor continues to play well, 807 OPS, catcher. And then you kind of see everybody else. Heimer Candelario is doing okay. Terso Ornelas is doing pretty well in he's not really a spot starter. I mean, he's played in 51 games, and he's got 8 home runs. Ryan Mountcastle is even starting to hit a little bit, 812 OPS. Really, the only player who's not hitting for us right now is Brendan McKay. I think that experiment is all but done, unfortunately. And we'll be moving on from him at some point. Pitching-wise, Pablo Lopez leads us with a 1.4 WAR, even though he is 2-5 with a 5.27 ERA. You can see his BABIP is high, his FIP is lower than his ERA, so he's gotten pretty unlucky this year, only giving up 6 home runs in 56 innings. 55 strikeouts, 213 walks. He's pitching pretty well. Joey Lucchesi, we put him in the starting lineup kind of as an afterthought, and he's 7-0 with a 4.08 ERA, pitching right to his FIP, so doing pretty well. Brett Conine, really doing a nice job out of the bullpen. We almost moved him last season, and I think maybe it was just a move to the bullpen that he needed. He's been very, very good so far. Braxton Garrett, 7-2 with a 2.86. He's done really well. Sam Henkes, doing okay. Marshall Kozowski already has 20 saves, 25 strikeouts in 21 innings. He's pitching really well as well. Shane Baz is doing okay. Still walking a lot of batters, but 66 strikeouts in 69 innings. Wilkeman Ramirez, I'm glad we picked him up in the Rule 5. He's developing nicely. If that control gets a little better, he could very easily be a starter for us. But you can see 34 strikeouts in 31 innings out of the pen this year. Haifang Yap, our international signee. Strikeouts are a little light, but he's not a heavy strikeout pitcher. He's getting the job done. So I'm happy there. So, yeah, things are looking, and surprisingly, Josiah Gray has been our worst pitcher. So I expect he'll turn it around sooner rather than later. So, yeah, things are looking really, really good for us right now in our quest to go from expansion to champion. So let's go ahead and sim ahead to the draft. We'll be picking somewhere in the top 10. I think we'll be picking 7th or 8th. There's another 2 wins for us. Another 3 wins for us. So we won 3 straight games. Let's look at that. 1-0, 3-2, 1-0. So let's take a look at these 1-0 shutouts really quickly. Portis Nova with the only RBI here. No-hitter. This was a no-hitter. Pablo Lopez pitches the first no-hitter in DuPage Pistol Shrimp history. An error. An error by Q kept this from being a perfect game. So there you go. First no-hitter in Shrimp history. In the other 1-0 game, pitched by Shane Baz. Nice. Very, very nice. 8 innings, 7 strikeouts. Excellent. So pitching is getting it done here. And then a 3-2 game. Braxton Garrett only gives up 1 hit but gets a no decision because Kozlowski gives up a run in the top of the 9th. We score a run in the bottom of the 9th to win it. So our pitching is getting it done. Yeah, our pitching's getting it done. So let's go to the draft. We're picking 12th. All right, because Kansas City's got a couple of picks in there. The Cubs have a couple of picks in there. All right, let's get to it. We should be able to get a decent player at 12. Usually these drafts aren't too deep, so... what do we want to look for? Let's look at pitchers first. Saw there were a couple of decent looking... J.D. Thompson's not bad. In high school for 5 years. That's a bit of a problem. But of the pitchers that are left here, I would say he's the best option. I mean, there are a couple of, quite not questionable, but players that have some question marks. Like, he could be pretty good if his movement wasn't awful. So J.D. Thompson is probably the pitcher we'd be looking at. Offensively, Jerry and Ely. I don't know what to make of this. So he's 23 years old. I guess that's right. No. Yeah, I guess that's right. Okay. Went to Ole Miss. Numbers are okay. I mean, they're nothing great. He's a good defensive, very, very good defensive outfielder. Judson Fabian. This is a little disappointing. Who do they think I should take? Yeah, that's kind of what I thought. For some reason, OSA really likes, or your scout really likes, catchers and shortstops in the draft. Let's do this. Nope. All right, so we are going to go with J.D. Thompson. He's probably the best player in the draft. Sim ahead. Let's see what's left. Not much. Again, this is usually what happens. Oh, wow, there aren't even any 2.5-star batters left. This is not a very good draft. Okay. There aren't even any good hitting pitchers that we can move into a turn into hitters. A bland diet rather than a spicy plate, Jansen projects to be a solid starter at the back end of the rotation. I mean, I guess. He's got 3 good pitches. Rarely makes waves in the clubhouse. Sure, Miles Jansen it is. Good power bats. Spencer Jones. Okay, see, now we're talking. I mean, he's not going to be a great pitcher. He's not going to be a great hitter, but he's got some potential power. He's got 3 good pitches, and he's an average pitcher. So that works. Spencer Jones. Joel Carlson, 100% effort, went to Alabama. Yeah. Good competition. That works. We got anybody left here? Any batters that could potentially be pitchers? Nope. Nope. Went to Louisville. Sure. Brendan Girton. All right, and I think we're going to call it there. Let's negotiate. He wants $8 million. Thankfully, our owner has a $900 million draft bonus or something, or draft budget, which I think it's only $22 million, but still. All right, so that's the draft. We are 43-20. If we just look at the team rankings, I mean, according to this, our biggest need is power. I would really like to upgrade. I think our prime target is to upgrade at third base and DH. So that's nice because that allows us to just find the best possible bat. Any decent bats on the trade deadline, on the trade block? Not really. DJ LeMahieu's not bad, but he doesn't deliver that power. What if we do this? Free agents, upcoming free agents. Let's see. Nick Castellanos. I mean, that might not be the bad. It might not be a bad side of platoon with Mountcastle, who's better against lefties. But what I would really love to find is a power hitting third baseman. Not that there are that many of those that are gettable. Maybe we could talk to Baltimore about Josh Bell. Calhoun's making a lot of money, more than I care to spend. That's right, Verdugo's a free agent. We're going to have to do something about that at some point here. Yeah, there's not a lot here. Sano, meh. All right. So it is, I think I'm going to go ahead and sim ahead. I'm going to sim ahead to the trade deadline. I'll mess around. Oops, sorry about that. Making some noise as I shift around in my squeaky chair. I'm going to see what kind of deals are out there. See what I can find. And I'll be back at the trade deadline. We'll go over any moves that I made. Take a look at the team, see how they're doing, look at their stats, and I guess call it an episode at that point. So, like I said, I'm trying to keep these things a little bit shorter. I was having fun. I mean, I'm still having fun, but the longer episodes are just, they're a little draining. So, try to keep these things a little bit shorter and kind of a little bit easier for everybody. So, we'll be back at the trade deadline. So, hang tight. All right, guys, we are back. It is a couple of days before the trade deadline. I wanted to bring it back a couple days early and see if we could. I'd spend some time looking for a potential trade partner. We did make a couple of relatively minor moves here in over the last month and a half. The first was with the Red Sox. We sent a couple of minor leaguers. They were both 1-star, 2-star to the Red Sox, picking up Mike Clevenger. Clevenger was on the trade block. He's making $14 million this year. Red Sox picked up the rest of his salary, so we sent them a couple of players. Arnold is a 29-year-old in A-ball, and Shira has, he's a pretty good defensive outfielder, has some power, so he could potentially be something down the road for the Red Sox. We pick up Mike Clevenger. We're going to keep him in the bullpen for now. His stamina is a little light. really good stuff, good control, 4 good pitches. And you can see he's pitched really well so far. 14 strikeouts in 6 2/3 innings. And then the other deal we made was with the Minnesota Twins. We sent Heimer Candelario and a minor league outfielder, getting Nick Castellanos in return. And Castellanos has struggled so far, at least with the average. He's putting up a 482 slugging. He's got 13 extra base hits in 24 games. And that's what you're going to get out of Castellanos, is a lot of extra base hits, not much defense. So he has, and he hasn't been great so far, but he was better than Candelario, who was hitting 201 for the year. He may have been a better defensive player, but wasn't really hitting. So those are the deals that we made. We have lost a couple of players to injury, which is going to be a bit of a problem, both out of the bullpen. We lost Sam Henkes. He's out for another week or two, and then Josiah Gray is done for the season. So that made us have to move Joey Wentz into the rotation, and honestly, he's done pretty well. So he's made 5 starts. Had one bad one against the White Sox here, but the other 4 have been quite good. So he's been fine as a replacement. And then we brought in Clevenger to replace Gray. So those are the moves we've made so far. You can see we are 76 and 35. We are just running roughshod over the rest of the American League. Second best team in the American League, and really the second best team in baseball, is the team that's right behind us, the Chicago White Sox. But could this be the year? Could I actually finish this series before I finish my Cubs series? That was not anticipated in the slightest, but we will see. We moved Freudis Nova back into the starting lineup to play third base once we traded Candelario, and he's doing all right. Again, he's got that OPS closer to where he was a couple years ago, so that's fine. So if we look at the lineup, kind of see what we need. Power again. I think this is going to be the end of the road for Khalil Lee with the club. He's asking. He's up around $6 million in arbitration next year. Not going to trade him now. I don't really think there's a move to be made here other than maybe with the pitching staff. The bullpen has been really, really good, so there's no reason to muck that up. If we could get a pitcher, maybe, starting pitcher. Let's see what's on the trading block. Okay, so there are a couple of pitchers on the trading block. I think they're all... Okay, so Eduardo Rodriguez, he's got 1.5 years left. I mean, Marquez is the obvious answer. Dakota Hudson, he might not be a bad option. He's only 29. Let's see what St. Louis would want for Hudson. And is this the time to make the move with Ornelas? I mean, I've got Simon Muzziotti I can call up. We've got Dominguez in Double-A. My only concern is that if we lose Verdugo and Lee in the offseason, that leaves us really light in the outfield. So I'd rather not move Ornelas. If we start with McKay. So that opens things up a tiny bit, I guess. We do this. McKay and Velade. It's close to being fair. There's nobody on this list that I'm comfortable moving for Hudson. Let's go over to Colorado. See if this is any different. All right, so if we start with Velade and McKay. That'll do it, really? Yeah, I mean, I think that makes sense, right? that's going to weaken us. It's not really going to weaken us because McKay isn't playing. And when he is playing, he's been bad. Vlade's not terrible. I mean, could I do this instead? Okay, so they actually like Vlade more than Nova. I think I'm okay with that. I mean, the chances of us being able to re-sign Marquez in the offseason are probably pretty slim. But, not to get too Cubby here, but he's been amazing for us in our Cubs series. I think we pulled the trigger on this. Yeah, I mean, now's the time to make the move, I think. So let's call Marquez up. Let's put him right in the starting rotation. Do this. Move everybody down one. So we have too many pitchers up now, so we gotta. Griffin Jax is probably the guy to go down. And we have to call up a bat. So who do we call up? Which bat do we call? Do we call up Muzziotti again? Get that defensive. He's not really any better than Perez in center field. We already have 5 outfielders up. I think it's Kessinger. So I think that's the big move, right? I think we're pretty well set now to make a run here for the World Series. I mean, I can't imagine that we're going to win, right? I mean, we're in our 4th season in existence. I haven't really gone nuts. I mean, we drafted Lee. We signed Q in the offseason. We traded for Lewis or for Diaz and Verdugo. This was Akil Baddoo, Jacob Patterson, and Celestino. Celestino's still developing. He looks like he should be up with the team now. Akil Baddoo is with Miami. Tore his knee. Tore his PCL, but he was up with Miami. And Diaz is really the only member of this that's still with us. Blade is in the minors, but he has stagnated, and we traded Bubba Thompson. So, I mean, it's not like we've gone gung-ho here with, spending a lot of money. We just kind of found the right combination, I think. I mean, this was the deal that really put us over the edge, I think, the Lopez and Braxton Garrett deal for Gigliotti, Heaney, and Fernandez. And Fernandez hasn't been bad for Miami. He saved 59 games in 2.5 seasons. Heaney is now with the White Sox. He didn't last very long. And Gigliotti has been their starting center fielder for the last 3 years. So, I mean, this was the trade that did it for us because this gave us a couple of anchors in our rotation that we could work with. So, this is going pretty well. So I think what I'll do is call it an episode here. Sim ahead to the end of August. See how things are going. See where we stand in terms of, with the White Sox and stuff. And then maybe we play that last month a week at a time just to see where we stand. And then we sim through the postseason and we see what happens. So I think that's what we're going to do. So thanks for watching, guys. Like and subscribe as always. And until we talk again, everybody take care. Bye-bye.